Hey, what's going on, everyone? Original Hypnotoad here, welcoming you to our PICA Season 3 Draft Recap. Now, the PICA is a league that we are joining. Uh, I know Nick from the PWM, which was a league. It was a little. It was the PWM was this league that Aridon started, uh, where it was like each team had five coaches, and each five coach would play a tier, and you'd kind of like each team would go up against another team. So that'd be like one coach would like your OU coach would go against the other team's OU coach, and kind of like that. But that kind of fell out a little bit, just because everyone kind of got busy and kind of gave up on the league a bit. But Nick, uh, he kind of hit the chat up, said, "Hey guys, I'm in this other league that's gonna be starting up soon. If any of you guys are interested in joining, hit me up." And I figured, hey, we're in two leagues, so might as well make three. So yeah, so we joined the PICA. So that's three leagues for your Detroit Magnetons. Should be interesting to see how that works out for me. But anyways, the draft happened. I think it happened a few days ago. I forget if it was. Yeah, I think it finished up 2 days ago, I believe. It only took a day, which is crazy because another league I joined, the NBA, took 3 days to do their draft. But yeah. So this league, very similar to the other leagues with GBA style drafts, or yeah, GBA style draft with tiers, 3 picks. You can franchise if you want. So me being a new coach, I couldn't franchise what was already taken from last season, so I had to pick something that wasn't on any that wasn't drafted. And there was one mon I really kind of wanted. It was a weird pick to franchise it, but I really wanted to franchise Miltank, which is the first mon you see here. Now, the reason why I wanted Miltank was because I feel like Miltank is a very, very underrated mon. It's a tier 5 mon, so it really cost me next to nothing to franchise. I think it cost me 60 points to franchise this, whereas if I had franchised like a tier 1 mon, that would cost me like 220 points. So I feel like I got incredible value here. His abilities, thick fat, means that it's going to resist fire and ice type attacks, and then sap sipper means it's going to be immune to grass type attacks. So you'll kind of see how that plays throughout my draft. I kind of had an idea when I franchised Miltank here, but Miltank I think is a great wall. It's a fast wall, base 100 speed, base 105 defense, 70 special defense, and 95 HP. So it's a pretty good wall. It gets milk drink, it gets heal bell, so it can keep the team healthy in terms of statuses, and it can keep itself healthy in terms of HP with milk drink. And it's got insane coverage in my opinion. It gets like fighting, it gets ice, it gets ground, fire, steel, rock, electric. It gets psychic. It gets crazy coverage. It can be a curse setup sweeper. Can just do a lot of good things. Can be a stealth rock setter. I believe you get stealth rocks right. Yeah, it gets stealth rock setter, so that gives us a rock setter right away. And like I said, you kind of see how this plays out with the rest of our draft once you kind of see where we're going with it. So we have the 10th overall pick. And with our first round pick, we picked up Tornadus Farian. It was funny because in the draft, I thought that Tornadus Farian had gotten taken, which is the mon I really wanted. So I was like, okay, then give me Landers Farian because kind of does similar to like what I wanted to do. But it turns out it was actually Landers Farian that was picked right before me instead of Tornadus Farian. And I didn't freak out, but like I kind of like made the chat like a little upset because like I guess like I wasn't paying attention too much. But I love Tornadus Farian in league format. This right here, the speed is the main reason why I love it. Also, base 110 special attack and base 100 attack. And it's fairly bulky with about 80 HP, 80 defense, 90 special defense, and then the regenerability is a freaking awesome ability. Basically means I can come in, I can take Stealth Rock, and I click U-turn, and I get my full HP back. What else do you get? Obviously, you could be Agility Setup Sweeper. It gets a plethora of coverage. I'm not going to go over all the coverage. But yeah, so it gets Tailwind, it gets Taunt, Toxic, so it's really fast Mon. Knockoff, I love Knockoff, and anything that has Knockoff is immediately a plus for me, because getting your opponent's item off in League format is really, really crucial, because not only does it make the item go away, but you also kind of get to see, okay, he's running a Scarf, so he's a Scarf set, or okay, he ran, like Life Orb, so he's going to be, full on attacker, or lefties, he might be bulky, whatever. But that's Tornadus. So moving on, we got Raikou coming over from the DBL Season 2 team. I love using Raikou. Raikou was actually Tier 2 in this league, so I was like, okay, I got to pick this up. This is a crazy value pick in my opinion. It's a fast electric type, which a lot of good teams in league format need that. It's a bulkier Jolteon. Granted, it doesn't get Volt Absorb, but it's a bulkier, more diverse Jolteon, because it gets a lot more coverage moves, like with Aura Sphere and Extra Sensory and stuff like that. I also have now a Volt Turn Core with Raikou and Tornadus. They also cover each other's weaknesses kind of well. Obviously, Tornadus is immune to Ground type that Raikou is weak to, and Raikou will resist the Electric type attacks that are coming towards Tornadus. So this is a good offensive core, I feel like, that I built right here. And with this next pick, you'll kind of see why I went with these two Mons and why I picked up Miltank maybe a little bit better. But the next pick we grabbed was Politoed. Yes, the Drizzle setting Politoed. Politoed's Tier 2 because of the Drizzle ability, so I had to spend some of my free points. But because I franchised Miltank and only spent 60 points, I had a little bit more than some other coaches did. So I was like, all right, I'm going to grab Politoed now. So now you can kind of see that I'm actually drafting a rain team here. I was tempted to let this thing slide a bit more because I didn't really know if any other coaches were going to go for a rain team. But I'm like, no, I got to grab it now. Obviously, this is going to be my rain setter. It's a decently bulky mon with 90, 75, and 100. 90 special attack. Scald's always nice because it's going to be boosted by rain. And it's also got some decent utility moves like Parasong, Encore, Toxic, obviously. So, yeah, there's Politoed, the rain setting mon for our rain team. And because I picked up Politoed in my rain team, I had to pick up Swift Swim User. So the first Swift Swim User that we picked up was Kingdra. Obviously, Kingdra can be either Swift Swim or Sniper with the Crit Dra set. Really cool mon, obviously. And you'll kind of see here that while I am planning a rain team, I'm also trying to plan a rain team that can do well without the rain. Because obviously Tornadus and Raikou, they do get some buffs from the rain because they can get perfect Hurricanes and perfect Thunders. But they don't necessarily need that to be successful. Kind of like Kingdra here. Kingdra doesn't need to have Swift Swim ability to be a good mon. It can be the Sniper set. And I can set up like a Dragon Dance and like a Focus Energy if I can set up that up and just kind of sweep from there. Kingdra can also be both physical and special, which is awesome. So, yeah, that's Kingdra. Moving on, we have Galvantula. Now, Galvantula was kind of a whim of a pick for me. I didn't really know what I wanted for my last Tier 3 pick. And I was like, okay, one thing my team doesn't have is, speed control. I have T-Wave from Raikou, and I have, Swift Swim Kingdra, but if I don't bring that rain team, I want to have some kind of speed control, and obviously Galvantula is the best in that aspect. Sticky Webs is an amazing move. Obviously, I have to watch out for Magic Bounce. That could be an issue for me, but not really worried about that. And, it gets decent, coverage. Bug and Electric's a decent, typing for attacking-wise. And, yeah. That's basically all for Galvantula. I may drop Galvantula. I don't know. I'll have to kind of see how the season starts and if I find anything else that would make it better. But let's move on to our last 5 mons. So I had a rain team, so you knew I had to pick up Mega Swampert. Swift Swim, obviously, is a great move or great ability for this guy because look at, you're going to double this, and with a base 150 attack, that's going to be crazy. Gets a plethora of, physical attacks. So now you guys can kind of see why I picked up, what was it on? Shit. I already forgot. Miltank. Why I franchised Miltank, because with Sap's ability, Miltank is a perfect check for anything that's going to be super effective against Swampert. And also like the combination of Swampert, Miltank, and Tornadus Fairyland, because Tornadus Fairyland is going to resist the fighting types attacks coming at Tornadus. Tornadus is going to wait, did I say it right? Tornadus is going to soak up any fighting type attacks. Swampert's going to soak up any electric type attacks, and then Miltank's going to soak up any grass type attacks coming at Swampert. So I feel like that's a really good core that I picked up. Obviously, with a rain team, I needed a Mega that excelled in the rain. And also with Galvantula, I don't necessarily need to bring the rain to make Mega Swampert viable, because I can, set up sticky webs and then, outspeed a lot of opponents' teams. One thing to note about this league is also you don't have to have, your Mega item on your Mega. Like the Mega and its counterpart, non-Mega, are the same mon. So if you draft, say Slowbro, you get Slowbro and Mega Slowbro. So I can also potentially run regular Swampert, but I don't know how viable that's going to be. Obviously, I could maybe for like a Rindo Berry on him to kind of catch people off guard, but we'll kind of see. Anyways, moving on, we picked up Mammoth Wine. Now this is kind of a whim pick because I saw it there. I had enough points to pick it up, and I was like, well, I don't know how this thing fell this far, but this is just one of the mons that could really kind of put a hole in my team. So I'm like, well, if it's going to put a hole in my team, why not just draft it now so no one else can? Thick Fat ability, obviously is a nice ability. It's a Stealth Rock Setter. It can be a Scarfer. Earthquake and Freeze Dry. Freeze Dry is a pretty crazy move because it's super effective ice type attack on water types, which could really put a hole in my team, especially when you add in that ground type. Would also kind of check the rest of my team. So I knew I needed to draft Mammoth Swine because I just didn't want to fight it. So grabbed it. So good to go. Moving on, we grabbed up Jellicent. Main reason why I wanted to draft Jellicent was because I didn't want my opponent to be able to spam water type attacks when I bring rain. So with Water Absorb, don't have to worry about that. So my opponent can't get as much of a benefit from the rain as he normally would be able to if I didn't have the Water Absorb mon. So that's why I drafted Jellicent. Obviously, it's a good defensive wall, gets recover. Will-O-Wisp, some good moves, but that's really the reason why I drafted Jellicent was for Water Absorb. But and I guess also kind of forms a decent wall with Miltank as well, because Miltank will absorb grass and ghost type attacks coming Jellicent's way, while Jellicent will absorb any fighting type attacks coming Miltank's way. So moving on, I knew I wanted a steel type, and I wanted to use my tier 5 pick to pick up Kling Klang. Kling Klang was an interesting pick for me because it's a good steel type. It's a pure steel type, so it doesn't have that many weaknesses. Has a lot of resistances. Also has the potential to be a setup sweeper with like shift gear and gear grind and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And I know I really want a steel type because steel types do thrive in rain teams, but they also thrive outside rain teams. So that's basically it for that. And moving on into our last and final pick, we got Flygon. We got Flygon again in this league, like I did in the NBA, so that's pretty freaking awesome. Couple of reasons why I wanted Flygon is I wanted another ground immunity, also wanted another electric immunity, because my team was kind of weak to electric. I don't want to be forced to bring, Mammoth Swine to every, match. But also, Flygon is my one defogger. I don't have a Rabbit Spinner. Flygon's my only hazard removal. So it does kind of stink in that aspect, because if my opponent Sets up rocks. I mean, rocks don't necessarily hurt my team too badly, but obviously I don't like them. Uh, so if I bring Flygon, it is gonna be kind of obvious, if I'm gonna be bringing a defog set, or if I'm gonna be bringing a scarf set, depending on like my other mons. But I just needed it. I also wanted a dragon type because dragon types can be pretty potent in this league. A banded outrage is gonna do a lot of damage. Base 100 speed is gonna outspeed a lot of things, so that's why I picked up Flygon. So let me know what you guys think of the team down below. If you guys have any recommendations, what I should potentially try to drop, what should I try to get more of on my team, what am I lacking on my team. Also, I want to kind of open this up to you guys, but I don't really have nicknames for these mons yet, so if you have any ideas for nicknames, go ahead and leave those down below. Make sure you leave like the nickname with them on that nickname it should apply to. And I guess after I see the comments, I'll decide on the winning names for every mon. And if no one comments on nicknames, I guess I'll just make them up on my own. But I figured I want to get you guys kind of a little bit more involved. So I think with the nickname as idea, that would probably be pretty cool. So anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling now. I gotta go do some other stuff now. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.